cosmic day. How do you feel? So just go overburdened or no? Oh, that's amazing. It's wonderful. Yeah. I can't even remember those days. You know, it's the significance of what we have almost accomplished for this universe, for all of creation, will not be noticeable completely for the next few years, but know when it unfolds and the truths are known, that you and this configuration of light really did a superb job, including a lawyer friend of mine here and some of the others who are not sure that they did, or are confused with the amount of information that came in, or heard clicking in the ears. This was a little bit of interference. There was a little interference, but that's about as close as darkness can get. Because this profound realization does, for all intents and purposes, destroy what we have many names for, the issue of darkness. It's not able to function well anymore. It's becoming very dysfunctional. Glenda Berry?
There's no punishment for being late, is there?
Yeah, we know about that suit. She went to Singapore and bought it. Lovely, isn't it? So, do you know these areas that we have been discussing, and some of you could not align definitively because the mind did not allow you to bring in what it is you may have wished to. Believe me when I tell you, or believe us when we tell you, that all was done, all was completed in this time and space and throughout all of creation. And what you don't understand is that the soul levels, all of them, have articulated and will help you to integrate these vast concepts, whether you brought them in for the first time on this planet, or you articulated concepts that have not been brought through so powerfully. And what haven't we done? Well, in our coding, this 12-strand DNA always has, always will, code the etheric light body ascension. It's complete. And now you are the activators for this bottleneck called Earth to allow multitudes, verily all of humankind, to raise above this density and go beyond. There was no fault with what happened. That's an experience that Source wished to look at, and possibly made a mistake. Each source makes mistakes, and judgment a little bit. We never knew that man could fall. We never knew that man would choose to fall beyond the light body. And particularly the Altians were so fascinated with the sexual nature of the Atlantean civilization, and they were very, very creative. There were many, many, many abuses, and many of them are carried into this level of consciousness now, and they simply don't work, looking at the 4th, 5th, and 6th density. So all of this will have to be shifted. So the beautiful blue-green ray, the 9th ray, is properly coded with what we did yesterday. It'll take time to assimilate it. You will all hopefully have groups that have tapes, and you can go through the finer details of what was articulated so that you can further integrate what it is that you are accomplishing for creation. It's a great gift. This pyramidal light grid that we speak of is still here, and it will remain so as long as you live on this planet and beyond. This group is one. And that is the phenomenal gift that you have given not only to the great number of teachers that are here, but to yourselves, to the earth. So what isn't coded? The DNA, the 12-strand DNA, does not have the ability to bring in the spiritual monadic levels. This is this massive distortion of spirit and matter. And as you know, even Dwal Kul, as nice as he was, did not understand spirit. He only understood universal consciousness. Universal consciousness. And universal consciousness is no longer sufficient. It's very, very limiting. There's nobody to blame. We never spoke of that which we don't speak of. Do you think they spoke a little ambiguously and a little gestalt? We'll keep this among ourselves. Why, Dwal, you can say this, and Katumi, Omaya, you say this, but we keep it tight, right? That one of, don't talk to Mary who? No, that's Jesus' friend, she's a tart. Don't tell her. So all these secret societies, which people are still trying to work with today, everything was well-meaning. Now you can think of things that weren't, but give them the benefit of the doubt. So how do we incorporate the wonderful aqua blue that you brought in so powerfully, the source, the aqua blue, the microtron, the washing machine within that little shell, and round and around and around and around. And you wouldn't think these nightmares would be effective. But they were, and I looked at all of you last night, and with some wonderment that you held steadfast for the most part, and didn't give in. And those who think they haven't gotten it, I tell you, you did. You do not have to do it all yourself as far as the personality is concerned. You are merely an extension of your soul levels. And there are many, many other levels of which you are extensions. That's what you have done very well with. You have connected collectively with your body systems with all levels of self. You cannot invoke, particularly when you touch into the higher regions of the fourth dimension, the lower regions of the galactic levels, but you need a physical body to have the power. Otherwise you'd have all these space cadets coming in saying that they're this. It doesn't work. You must have this finite, dense body. It's too dense. And you're the forerunners of the light, no matter what you feel you are, or no matter how humiliating much of what you will view will become to you. You'll feel often like a freak. This isn't my childhood. This isn't what I remember playing in a field. Why is there such a distance between what I once loved and how I feel today? And more of you will have to tune in, and preferably to this group. It's a very powerful, living body. And when you do your meditations, bring in this group or another group that you've worked with if it's on another area of commitment, of love. Creation is love. Creation is not static. Some people who are very convinced they work with light cannot accept the fact that God is not static. We've been conditioned for so very, very long on that little old man out there with the beard. Everything evolves as we do. Creation evolves and becomes something greater all of the time. And at the end of this cosmic day, we become something else. We become a cosmic night for those who wish to stay around. Or you become your own creator. Always you are your own creator. Whether you're the little, we don't have her up. Whether you're the little cosmic heart. No, Glenda, don't spoil a good thing. That's two. I'll say no more. So remember the alignment, and remember how into this confusion I didn't know how they were going to bring it through, or that it couldn't be brought through. That we set the helices in alignment with those levels that we call the physical, the 12 physical vortices. And what are they? Chakras. And the only way we could do it, I think was done very well with the boys, was that we get inside, we cocoon ourselves, and then you brought them in for humankind, for all of creation, this multi-dimensional matrix of what will happen over the next 35 years, give or take a few days. What I would like us to do now, if we can, look to that same cell, enlarge it many, many millions of times, and fill your cosmic heart with a white circle, the circle of completion. And let us call it one cell within our body. Leave where they belong. These 12 strands will not connect them to the chakras for the moment. See the 4 rows of 3 helices, spirals, Snails. Broaden this, magnify this throughout this whole cosmic room, please. Bring light, magnificent light. You've got to use the support of the angelic host very, very well. Michael, Raphael, Oriel, Gabriel, and always into the earth. Sandalphon, please. And know that spiritual energy can also be part of this DNA, but it must be brought in. And it's a rather simple exercise. You did it with the microtron within the cocoon yesterday. The 10th ray overshadows the microtron, and the 10th ray is that opulent pearl color. It is very incandescent. It's a very bright pearl. Pearl, I don't know how, we don't have the language to describe the color perfectly, but from Source Star, come down to that bridge in the 7th dimension, and again bring across the 9th ray, the blue-gray, the blue-green. The primal soul at the soul star. And watch as they merge and become one without any resistance whatsoever. The dominant or the higher vibration is simply the oversoul, represented as the 10th ray. Oversoul, 10th ray. It enveloped the 9th ray, the blue-green, as it come down to your primal soul, soul star. It envelops this gentle one and move it into this large circle that you have created, representing one cell. And notice this cell has no junk. This mutation will be accelerated now beyond explanation to your finite scientists. For it is not junk, gentle ones, it is the completion of what we were designed especially to perform, very specifically, each and every one of you, differently. For your jobs, your assignments will be different. Line them up, visualize 4 rows of 3, please. And within this cell, inject this luminescent pearl color that is representative now not only of the primal soul, the higher self. The oversoul overshadows this DNA. Gently, gently, gently allow it to penetrate. Look to each one of these helices. Look to each one and infuse all with this 12th ray. I say unto myself now as a realization that I realize anything is possible and thoughts are things. We're entering the fourth dimension. Some will touch into the fifth and the sixth, and some will touch into their monad, the spiritual realm. And this is the way it's done. I will not accept limitation anymore, for I know that I can be complete. I know that I resonate at a much higher rate of vibration per second than I ever have before. When things come up for me in what we view as the future, we will commit ourselves to the now. For what we view as the past, we will release those patterns of being dysfunctional, of being put upon, of being less than we can be. And in my moments of being alone within my cosmic heart, I will bring in this alignment to enlarge and ignite for all of humankind, for this universe, for all of creation. For the service that we do now is incomprehensible to the personality. As you begin to see the angelic, when you begin to see or feel intuitively the closeness of who you are, the totality of soul, higher self, oversoul, and your monadic experience, you can say to yourself very proudly, this is what we started for all of creation. And this will be the savior energy to remove the bottlenecking on this little planet of the mere 7 billion souls who are either stranded in the astrals or insistent on not getting off the wheel. And you created a bottleneck for this universe. You've created a bottleneck for all of creation. For humankind has become so fascinated with its outer self that it's forgotten totally why it's here. The only reality in existence, I say to myself now, is the inner I am, the God present, the present that I know to be truth. And when I think of it, and I'm not persuaded by other, quote, channels, unquote, I realize that this is the only way it can be. Nothing else can fill my heart with the oneness that I am and will experience. All my thoughts now will radiate forth in everything that I do, everything that we do, because it is a collective self. The I becomes smaller and smaller, the free will becomes non-existent as you turn yourself over to the greater wholeness of who you are. So the negative ego is not there. look at what I can do ceases to be. So when you compete with Rocky 5 or Rocky 6 or somebody on television doing all these wonderful things that are so third dimensional, or violence, that you sit in a room with your family and say, what am I doing here? It will penetrate every fiber of your being, and there's a time coming when you cannot watch this. And you will sense that which you are and which others are not aligning with. This coding in miniature of the enlarged cell. Repeat, I know that this is representative of the 10th ray. The 10th ray does overshadow, overlight, the spiritual conversion of the microtron with my body now, the light portion being the electron. I enlarge the cell now with the 10th ray. We call it the over soul. It's an appropriate word. And concentrate very intently now on this magnified cell becoming larger and larger, and the firmness of the 12-strand DNA is totally permeated with spiritual energy. I'd like you to see you in this pyramidal light grid that has been created. And as a group, please visualize what is happening. You are the pioneers on this one. And when you leave this planet, you will see how wondrous this event has been for all of creation. Enlarge the cell, enlarge it throughout perpetuity, and enlarge the scope of the 12 helices. This is difficult and it's demanding, but it can be done. Think of it as the group, when the group is focusing on the one cell. So powerfully that it infuses all of the billions of cells within this one finite body. Expand the body, expand the cell, expand throughout creation, the head, the arms, the lower body, the legs, please. The emotional body, breathe out. My emotional body will be in control, for I am in charge of my creative abilities, not my emotional body. My mental body is my higher mind, my causal body, and I do not live within the lower will and the lower mind any longer. Breathe that one out. For that is a massive shift of consciousness. My higher mind is so linked to the primal soul, it in fact moves beyond. Primal soul anchors within the higher self and the oversoul. So nothing is wasted, nothing is lost. This is the totality of your experience. Breathe out, gentle ones, now through the emotional bodies. Bring up a little bit for the emotional body. Emotions don't like change very much. Always remind yourself that you are in control. The subconscious mind is not in control. You do not have to mollycoddle the state. You do not have to mollycoddle the subconscious mind. You leave that to your psychiatrist and your psychologist. You can demand. You can absolutely demand. And it will come forth. So many people bow to these vehicles that they are the masters of. And when they do pattern removal, they're not sure that they can demand of mass consciousness. They're not sure that they can demand of the subconscious mind that it makes its shifts. They cannot and never are certain about the emotional body. You must place yourself in control. Allow that to resonate throughout this one cell, which is a multifold duplication of your beingness, and has all memory coded there. Including your light body. Please blend now an aqua blue of in miniature what we did yesterday in the cocoon. Knowing what the pearl colored is, knowing that it's the 10th ray, knowing it's the over soul. And it now embodies the higher self and the primal soul. And within that cell, start to turn it gently. Bring it an aqua aura color, please. And reaffirm that I am in control. The totality of who I am is and has always been in control. And I will not whimper and complain. I will look to my beingness, which is the collectivization of all that is anyway. And my filters of consciousness will become clearer and clearer because of this recoding. My intuition will become more and more refined. I will learn to heal myself emotionally and mentally and physically and in every other way, particularly spiritually. Allow the 12th ray to come into this one cell now, please. It's golden. It represents all rays in its ultimate use. It's just the magnification now throughout your entire body as you breathe in this new you, the connection with your monad, your spiritual self. Breathe this in now, please. And penetrate it throughout one's beingness, but definitely the emotional, mental, and the etheric. Look to your etheric body now, please, and realize that the DNA, the 12-strand DNA, does allow and can create and has many times for you before created what you call, with some limitation, the ascension mode. Follow it around your body as you expand just the etheric body. Bring great light to it. In this cosmic heart now, bring in the primary disc, the chakra center, all the higher chakras as discs down to the heart, please, to your thymus room. Think of the source, mid-monad, junior monad, your higher, Melchizedek, Melchior, the crown, the Christ itself, all into the thymus room that you built so wonderfully. And now bring up from the bottom, from your source star to your earth star, everything unite now with the base, the emotional, and the solar plexus, all within this one disc. Within the thymus room. And I confirm that the blending that will be taking place now, the blending of all aspects of our beingness, physical and spiritual, need not be separate. Our spiritual aspirations have not been understood on this planet. What has been understood reasonably well by a very few is the electronic body. And we accept now not only the microtron, but the electron. And in this disc, we blend all of our chakras as one within this thymus room. We raise ourselves into the source of sources, the heart of hearts, the God, the I Am presence with no outer self. Everything now is within the cosmic heart of Source itself. Breathe this in, gentlemen. Breathe, feel the angelic host. Know that you're being raised. The vibration of the combined frequency starts to raise. You have a sense that you're being helped. Start to turn this magnificent disc, please, with vortice. It is a vortice. It's an energy center. The very magnified. Magnified. Spin it rapidly, gentle one. Spin it rapidly. Some of you in your future will see, as I say, geometric forms. You will see dots and dashes and other configurations. You will see, some of you, the complete circle, which in one sense is the completion. A sign for completion. And some will be recoded, having viewed the five-sided Merk, or Merkabah. Spinning. All of these realities will be yours. All of these realities are a result of the opening of this coding. There's other work that's been done. The cosmic heart was a major one. The first people who went into the fifth dimension was an amazing opening. The goddess principle is brought in totally now into this multi-dimensional matrix. And we accept that we are one, that God is not, in essence, male and female. It is all there is. Please form that profoundly within your own I am. I am. There is no separation. There never was. It's our own creation. And we've separated for so very long that we've forgotten who we are, and no one is to blame. The coding needs to be reactivated, to be reawakened, as we simply become our God source. And I will find great pleasure, great relaxation, knowing and exercising my option of free will, becoming the I am that I know myself to be. And no one will tell me differently, for what is going to be expressed in desperation over the next 10 years, I will have to stand very steadfast. I will look at all others with love, with profound light, no matter how difficult their experiences seem to me, or my experiences are to view. It's being worked on now. Please breathe in. All residue, allow it to fling out from this massive disc, this vertebrae, this disc. Chakra as a disc, gentle ones. They encompass the body, they are not horns. Out, 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 out. They are vortice center, and we're encompassing all of our chakras combined with the thymus, with the heart, with the cosmic heart. Everything is within our cosmic heart. And as we perfect, it becomes a miniature of our God source. heart of creation. Breathe into it and start to feel yourself becoming lighter, that there is no gravitational pull, gentle ones. Relax. 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 Out throughout eternity. And there's a consistency in everything. There is a perfection in all of creation. We now bring the earth in because she is the planet that must be saved, for it has such a profound effect on our God source that is so irrevocably unbalanced. And it simply blends harmoniously with our own I am. Lighter, lighter, and lighter. Breathe in, gentlemen. Breathe. We release all anguish and sorrow, for we know the earth can be light. We know its destination in the past was joy, profound joy. It becomes lighter and lighter. Now there seems to be no gravitational pull on this massive helice, this massive vortice, this combination of our possibilities. See it as a blue now, gentle ones. Some of you will have the murk experience. Start to raise this now from the heart. Start to raise this. Gravitation has no pull on this magnificent craft, this thought form. Raise it slowly, slowly, up through all levels of creation, beyond what you know as your galactic core. Up through the sixth dimension. Here we have great assistance. All three M's are here, Melchizedek in particular. And this transformation takes place as we go across this symbolic golden bridge. path becomes indescribably light, 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 light. Takes on a form of liquid luminosity. So through the seventh dimension, gentle ones, raise this murk. It's no longer called a murk, that doesn't matter. This is truly where thoughts are things. Through to the eighth dimension, please. At this level, every one of you will have a different view of what you have created. Merge now with the Council of 12, please. Very similar shape. And you'll realize that the 12 rays did guide you, the 12 thrusters as they were from the Merkabah are these agencies. The joy, the light, the love cannot be described. And all you're doing is you're merging where you began when your journey first started. This is the level that you were birthed from or individualized from. And it's the recognition now that there never was any separation. That's been man's greatest illusion. Nothing, no one is any greater at this level. You can see the expression and the truth of divine equality at this level where you cannot see it on earth. So cosmic heart meets cosmic heart. And in the final analysis they are one and the same as we perfect our beingness. Bathe in your own creativity. And release those patterns that say, I didn't wish to be individualized. Those patterns that said, I did not wish to leave my creator level. Rebirth now and release that burden that you've carried for so long as individuals. For this is who you are. One with all that is, and it can never be any differently. You might as well sing a little. There's so much incredible sound, light, sound, colors that I've never seen. Confirm that you can become one with all that is, and you can be the living embodiment of this. Expand your consciousness throughout this greater creation. Breathe out, gentle ones. Please breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Tell yourself to relax. To relax. You have made a wonderful, wonderful journey. And I agree that I can love myself. I find it so difficult to love myself, and that's simply a distortion of a reality that is not mine. And I'm prepared to repeat and to release, repeat realization and release these patterns that I disapprove of in my beingness. The Gestalt, the group, the oneness, I'm prepared to carry throughout eternity as one of the most powerful events that will and has happened to this planet, for it's played out in the now. And now will not confuse me. My education is really redundant, that the past creates the future. Our Cartesian philosophy, that logic carried to its furthest terms of explanation, can be termed, can explain anything. None of these things are real.